Hello, and welcome to this video tutorial about building drop-down lists in the Room and Status Lab resources. In Sesame, views provide simplified graphic user interfaces for data entry and retrieval. For fields with limited and predefined values, like status and type, or room and freezer, the user can select a value from the drop-down list that appears when trying to edit the field. The drop-down lists make data entry simpler, less error-prone, and keep the data consistent for searches and data mining. In this tutorial, we will show how these drop-down lists can be customized by labs through lab resources. We will walk through options in Room and Status resources. The choices in the drop-down lists are defined by the lab master or by a lab member who has been assigned the appropriate permissions through the Can Do resource. A tutorial video is also available for the Can Do resource. The choices that we see here in this Room drop-down list are defined in the lab resource Room. To open the Room resource, under the main options menu, select Lab Resources, and under Locations, select Room. The rooms listed in this table are the same across all the items with a room field. Every room field in the drop-down list will contain these choices, and they will be ordered alphabetically. For example, you can see that the drop-down lists in our sample window here are the same choices as in the protein window here. To add a new room to this table, on the Room menu, click Add New Room, and type the name of the room into the table. I'll add a new room and call it New Room. The table must be saved before changes in the database occur. Under the Room menu, click Save Room. When I switch back over to the sample view, you can see the option New Room has now been added to the drop-down list choices. The same list and the same new option now also shows in the protein view. To remove a room from the table, select the row or rows with your cursor and then navigate to the Room menu. Select Remove Rows. Multiple rows may be removed at once by selecting multiple rows. Again, I'll save this change under the Room menu, selecting Save Room. You may undo the last change. Under the Room menu, select Undo to cancel the last change to the Room resource table. When I select Undo here, the room I just deleted in my last step is now restored. The Undo command works even after you save, but only for the last action. The Refresh Room command reverts the data in the room table to the version that has been saved into the database. This command works only if the changes you have made have not been saved yet. To give a clear example, first I'll delete these two rooms. And I'll also add a new room. I have not saved the record, and so now when I select Refresh under the Room menu, the record is restored to the previously saved version, and my changes are negated. A pop-up window will appear to confirm the choice to refresh the record. To close the Room window, choose Close Room or click the X button on the Windows title bar. The status drop-down choice lists are different than rooms because labs require specific and different status options for different item and record types. For example, the status drop-down choices here in the sample window are different than the choices that are available here in the protein window. To open the status window in the board, on the Options menu, select Lab Resources and then click Status. The table here has a column for item type. This is the record type you are creating status options for. The status column is the list of status options that you have chosen to be available for that record type and what will show in the drop-down list. To add statuses for a record type, click Add New Status under the Status menu. This will add a new row. I'll select Sample in the Item Type field And now type the status in the adjacent field under the status column. For this example, I will add two statuses, status A and now status B. As always, be sure to save your changes by selecting Save Status in the Status menu. Now you can see that these new statuses show in the drop-down list in the sample item window. You may also reorder the entries and the drop-down list. To reorder this item, I'll select Move Up and Move Down in the Status menu. You may also reorder these with the blue arrows here in the middle on the button bar. Item types always remain grouped together, so when you move a row, it will not move above or below into a different item types row. Most of the simple resources will be automatically reordered in their tables, but for the status resource and some others, the order may be modified. To save the status file, select Save Status from the Status menu. Now when I switch over to my sample window, we can see the new statuses have been reordered in the drop-down choice list. Lab masters may import and export lists of status options. Lists must be comma-separated value files or CSV files. This enables the dissemination of resources and simplifies the setup of a new lab. Some other lab resources may also be imported and exported with CSV files. Any pre-existing data that was in the status table will be replaced. To load a status file, on the Status menu, click Load Status File. In the folder list, locate and open the folder that contains the file. Select the file and click Open. Save the new status file by selecting Save Status in the Status menu. Now, when I click back over to the sample view, you see that the status file has been updated and reloaded with the new data from the file we imported. To export your status resource table, choose the command Save Status File on the Status menu. This saves the status resource table as a comma-separated value file. If you want to save the file in a different folder, locate and open the folder. In the file name box, type a name for the file and click Save. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and please refer to the help pages on the Sesame website for any further questions.